This conference will now be recorded.
Meeting to order. We got the quorum. So let's stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, one minor change for you, if we could move number 2 from requests and presentations, the classification compensation study, down to number 3 under unfinished business. David Drown's not going to be here, so we can talk about that later. That's the only change that I have.
Okay. Approve the agenda. No motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Consent agenda items.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Public comments? Okay. Request and presentation, the Richland Area Foundation.
You guys want to all come up? I'll introduce ourselves. Here is a list of everything we're giving out tonight. Thank you. And on the back, you'll see what will be given at next week's school board meeting. Thank you.
Hey,
How are you?
Good.
Good. So, my name is Carla Christopherson, and thank you for allowing us to be here at this event so we can present these all in one public setting. We're going to take turns going through the grants, but I just wanted to start with introductions.
Hi, I'm Betsy Bartness. Kalisha Atkins, Pam Carey.
Sean Rock.
Okay, the first grant we're going to give away tonight is to the Waseca Library System here in New Richland. They were not able to be here with us, so they just asked that I read this thank you. They will be receiving a $2,400 check from an outside grant organization this year that's been helping us. It's called the Curtis Swenson Family Fund. So again, if you look at the totals with their roughly $11,000 donation, along with the New Richland Foundation, we're able to do $31,800 this year, which we're very proud of. So again, the first $2,400 to the New Richland Public Library. Good evening. I apologize that I cannot be with you this evening. I would like to thank the Curtis Swenson Family Fund for the generous grant for books again this year. The New Richland Library is a small branch that wants to give its patrons the most up-to-date books for them to enjoy. With this funding, our library will be able to continue to do this. The patrons, young and young at heart, love coming into the library to see what's new in the book area of the New Richland Library, provided most in part by the Curtis Swenson Family Fund. The smiles and thanks I receive are dedicated to you. Thank you from me and all the patrons of the New Richland Library. Signed, the branch supervisor, Kathy Cronebush. So that is our first. Our next, I'll let you read this one, Betsy. And if you are here, if you can come up, receive your grant. Eli's going to get pictures for us and then tell us a little bit about how you plan to use the money.
Do you want to just like stay with her when you hand it to her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, it's, I'm
Betsy
I'm a board
is going
member.
to give it to.
So the next grant is going to be to Farm America for $1,200 to Jessica Rollins. There you go. So, do you want to talk about your grant?
Stand, I don't feel like I have to stand back here, right? And then everybody can see me. And I wrote it down, because a lot of guys I don't know, which makes me kind of nervous. So, I'm just gonna thank you to the New Richland Area Foundation and those who contribute to it. This grant funding will help us install another industrial picnic table at our north patio at the Visitor Center of Farm America. As the state's official agricultural interpretive center, thousands of folks visit our space every year, including students from New Richland. And I always want to say NERHEG, but I know that's not what you guys say. It's NHREG. NRG. This is why I just think, guys, I'm from St. Clair, and we just say St. Clair. So New Richland, right? I'm gonna get it right, because I very much appreciate the school district, because their students come every year for our culture career exploration program. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva, all right? So our current picnic tables that we do have continue to age, and our program continue to grow in popularity, which then results in a lack of seating. So this industrial picnic table will allow us to have that extra space. There will be a plaque on it as well, saying that it is from the New Richland Area Foundation. So those who are seated there can appreciate the work that the foundation has done to make that table possible. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry that I butchered the name of your school. It does not mean that I do not respect it, it just means that I'm a little nervous. Thank you.
The next one is the Boy Scouts for $300.
They didn't tell me I was gonna have to say things. So,
Well, you can't do worse than I do.
well, as part of our recruiting efforts this fall, the Boy Scouts are providing a new handbook for every new scout who joins the program as a way to ease that financial burden for our families. We found that with the cost of everything nowadays, things get cut from families that they think they don't need, of course, like all of us do. And so they don't buy the handbook, which is detrimental to their ability to succeed in the program. So we thought we would try and raise funds all around our council to try and give, the handbook for free to our new scouts. So the New Richland Area Foundation will allow 12 scouts from New Richland to join in the fall to get a free handbook if they want to join the program. So that will help them be successful in their scouting journey. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Oh, excellent. The next one is for the city of New Richland, $2,000. There you are.
This is kind of a step-by-step project for a community room. We redid the floor in there, a very nice floor. Bought all new tables and chairs, and then last year we replaced the refrigerator and the stove for a nice rental experience for the people that come in and use our facilities. This $2,000 is going to replace all of the dishes, silverware, cups and stuff, so that we have about 110 place setting for anybody that's coming to rent the facility here with some very nice stuff. So, thank you very much for that donation.
Oh, Michael Bynum, okay. The New Richland Historical Society, we're giving them $3,000 for, she'll explain what she's gonna bring in for this.
Well, I'm not doing it, so I can't explain in detail, but, I'm sure everyone knows that we have a cannon in the park, and the park is utilized by everyone, not only our people in town, but travelers through town. And a lot of times we get asked, what's the deal with the cannon? Why is it here? Where did it come from? How long has it been here? And, well, when Rodney Hatley was here, he did a lot of research. He's passed away now, and we have what we think is enough information to put on a plaque to tell everyone about the cannon. And it needs a little tuck pointing around the rock and brick and stuff like that. So that's what we want to do, and make some landscaping around it just to make it look nice. And I think it'll be a nice addition also to the American Legion's flag and what they have done too. So that's what we plan on doing. And we should appreciate it. Thank you. Very nice. Okay, next up, there were two different grant requests by the New Richland Police Department. So Denise, you can come up and I will explain. Our foundation is doing $1,000 towards a new computer system and $750 towards the radar system, of which you can explain a little bit better. So the computer system, we do everything on our computers from information, report writing. We look at other calls from the county to see what their information was. It's basically the main hub to do everything on. So the computer in our white squad is our oldest computer. And so that would be the one that we're gonna replace, so we can have all that. Also, the oldest radar that they don't even manufacture anymore, for fun fact, is getting replaced in the white squad as well. There's been a lot of hiccups with both the computer and the radar in that squad. So we're hoping to fix both of those at the same time. So thank you.
Excellent. All right, terrific.
Okay, next up for the Royal Villa Housing, Gail Schmidt, we are giving you $500, or excuse me, Waseca Area Foundation is gonna give $500,000.
New building.
Hold on, too many zeros. They're gonna give 500, and the New Richland Area Foundation is gonna give 2,500.
No picture.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people in the community report toward us the HUD right now this week here. We've got some pretty tacky looking landscaping, and then recently we had to have 4 more trees removed because of the ash borer that happens. So we started a beautification project, and we don't have enough in the capital reserve for things like this, so we reached out to the foundations, and that's what we're gonna use it for. We're excited to get it updated, so thank you very much. Is that good enough?
Do you guys have any questions? That's really good.
Next is the Waseca County Historical Society for $500.
Yes, thank you very much. But the big project that we're doing now is moving all our data, all our members to Waseca County Historical Society, and all of the exhibits, all of the historical artifacts are being moved onto a different database to make it easier for you as members. If you want to be a member, you can then research anything you want in the Waseca County, and any artifact that you would be there, you would be able to see on your website. Thank you.
And then I just have one more to talk about, but before I do that, I just want to thank, the Richland Foundation is under the umbrella of the Waseca Area Foundation. And the chairman of the Waseca Area Foundation, Dave Dunn, joined us tonight. He wanted to show his support to all of us and the hard work we've been doing. And again, we thank the city for all of their support. This last one, the Richland Sportsman's Club, are any of you guys members of the Sportsman's Club by any chance picking this up? Okay, so Lee Mendenhall is actually the one that filled out the application, but if it's okay, I'll send this with you.
Sure.
I'll
get it to Lee.
While I don't have the full app with me, what I recall, it had to do with, he wanted $500 towards a tree project out at St. Lake Park. There's starting to be some, is that ash borer too?
I would assume so, probably, yep.
So they just want to get ahead of things, and while this will take care of a fraction of it, but that was a good thing that we wanted to support. So yes, if I'm able to send that with you, maybe we should do a picture.
I'll make sure he gets.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, and again, thank you for allowing us to present these.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do one second.
Okay. We'll do, we usually get one right out here.
You wanna go out there for me, take a picture?
Sure.
I will.
Denise, you can go, we can get through the resolutions while they're outside doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's move down to ordinances and resolution number 1, 24-08.
All right, so, let me get there quick. I apologize. It's not ready. The first resolution is Byron Township sent a donation as part of their community funds as a donation for the ambulance department. So the first one is $469 to be donated to the ambulance department. I talked to Sarah Sunby. She requested that be added to the capital fund for the ambulance department. So that's what that resolution is for.
What is Byron Township? What does it consist
Byron's that way, right?
Wells?
Yep. So it's not Vivian. Vivian's Waldorf should be the next one before New Richland. So
Does it butt up to?
yeah, butts up to New Richland Township.
Okay.
Yep. So that's that one.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll move to adopt resolution 2408.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 2, resolution 2409, a resolution accepting a donation.
Second resolution is a donation donating $200 to the fire department on behalf of Dale Bayer Kohler. Just $200. He just,
Whatever we need.
yep.
Okay. We have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution.
We have a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Number 3, resolution 2410, a resolution proclaiming May 24th as Poppy Day.
All right, so I was contacted, Lauren talked, I can't remember, for the life of me can't remember who you talked to, but Poppy Day is coming up, and so last year in the past, we've always done a resolution for Poppy Day, so this is a resolution declaring May 24th as Poppy Day. Yep, Legion Auxiliary.
Yeah, it was Gretchen Paula and Vivian.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we have a motion?
So
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Resolution 2411, a resolution establishing banking authority.
The final resolution is for the bank. We did not have anything in our banking resolution of the bank on file allowing the city to utilize online banking. So the only change is that it adds online banking to our banking resolution that we have on file with the bank.
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion or question? All in favor? Aye. Motion is approved. Oops. Okay, department report, ambulance report.
So I just received another application. I'd like approval on her depending interview and background check. Everything like that. Probably add schooling onto there, so she can get her either EMT or EMR, depending on which one she decides. And then Tony had sent out a broadcast that I did with the radio station. I hope you all guys listen to that. I plan on doing another one here coming up soon with more people from the ambulance crew. I had a meeting with North Air Care. We want to do a training and we're gonna set that up. I also talked to the school and we're gonna do a mock crash at the school next year, right before homecoming. Looking on grants for equipment, I just finally got what a price would be for a new Lucas and put the trade in or keep buy outright. I'll have that for the next meeting. He sent it in an email. Then now I can really start writing some more grants on that to get money. CPR for us.
Okay.
We need that machine.
Okay.
It's very much needed.
Okay.
The one that we got, the parts right now, there is no parts for it, so if something breaks on it, we can't get it fixed. So if it breaks, we're gonna have to buy one right away. So we'll be very cautious on that. I will have the cost for that. And then work on trying to get some grants for it to pay for some of the costs. And I also put in there for the capital plan for the ambulance. I know you guys are gonna be talking budget soon coming up. We need to start putting money aside for replacement of some of these products. The monitor is 10 years old.
They just came out with one he was telling me about today. Look at LifePak 35, it'll actually detect both a right-sided and a left-sided heart attack. So, we can't detect a right-sided heart attack right now. So when they have 100% blockage or blockage on the right side, we can't see it, but this new monitor, it'll show it. And they'll actually show what leads are having elevations, which will be kind of nice. So it'll help us out a lot more, knowing whether or not we should call for intercept and everything. But a lot of the stuff is coming up on age that we're gonna need to be replacing it, so we need to start putting money away into that. And then also a couple months back, probably about April, well, it was before that, March, I brought up the price and stuff of increase in pay for everybody. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the budget and everything, or else, what I brought it forward, so.
Did you not do
I brought it up in March.
did you not do the benefit for getting the stuff on the
Yeah,
board?
we've been doing the benefit for that, yep.
Okay, and has that been working or has that not been working?
It hasn't really been working too much, it has, but it hasn't. But I don't know if you guys have looked into that at all, and then also I have my review and I won't be looked into that at all, so. Something to look at.
I believe there might be some money coming from St. Paul for rural EMS. I don't know how much they talked about it, but
I don't know how much there is there. I know there's something coming from the county too, that the commissioners give us. So like that donation we got, we can put that towards the Lucas and whatever the foundation, like the county brings, we could put towards that.
Because I know the ambulance pay, we held off to find out if your bonuses for getting signed up on the call board we were doing the trial on that to see if that was gonna
It seems
work.
like it's been helping with the ones that especially live out of town, so that helps out quite a bit. And those are the ones that, they drive, one comes from almost by Moose Lake, so that is a jaunt, and the pay is little. So,
Is the inspection that's coming up, is that announced or unannounced?
it's unannounced.
Unannounced?
I'm ready. I've done well, really
Okay.
haven't had any issues, so, yeah. That's all ready.
Are you having still a hard time getting people to sign up for shifts or at all, or is it better than before?
Depends on who it is. There's just a couple that I still have to continually, but that's just how they are.
Right.
So, yeah. The ones that actually do it, they put a lot of effort in and miss a lot of things. And I just continue to work on everything. Keep scheduled and everything like that. It's constant. Engine runs. So,
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
Almost approved the ambulance report.
Second. Motion and a second. Any more discussions for it? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Next, we
Thanks, sir.
have the fire department.
Just in writing, one medical call, and they did pump training for the month, and that's all we have.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire department report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions for Tony? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, the police department.
We had 237 calls for service for the month of April, bringing our total call volume to 1,052, obviously more since we've had more staffing this year. Information, grass ordinance, that's gonna be a big one pretty soon, 2 more days, because it's May 15th to September 15th, or every 3 weeks, either or. Just can't let your lawn go to seed. ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, etc. We've been having an issue with those driving on Legion Field, especially when it's wet. So if you have a physical impairment, that's understandable. However, if you don't, please do not drive your vehicles on the grass. Keep them on the road or in the parking lot. I attended the Chiefs Conference in April. Awesome speakers and amazing networking. A lot of, I'm working on setting up a grant for the new HVAC system, or what I would hope to be the HVAC system in the garage. I was told, I don't know if it would be expensive enough for them to grant us the money. I've never heard that before, but I guess that's a possibility. Body cameras have been purchased. I received them last week. We onboarded them today and they should be operational by tomorrow after I work out a few kinks. Radar, that's back ordered. That'll be here sometime in June. And upcoming events, citywide cleanup on Saturday and last day of school on the 3rd.
I forgot, how many body cameras did you get?
2. So it'll be like $100 a month.
With the HVAC thing, was it to replace that lovely
Mhm.
window unit?
Yes,
Or was it
and in the garage.
because before it was just a vent in the garage, so hopefully it's doing better.
No, it would be
Those two
heating
windows.
and cooling for the garage and the office.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be very nice.
That's just a good idea. That's always interesting.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second that. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, classification and compensation center.
That's third.
Oh, wait a minute, yeah, we got it.
I got the register.
Register first.
I saw one that I had a question on the check register, the, safety inspection on squad 270 for $1,199. Is that needed? Is it required?
I'm guessing it was probably,
It was probably the one with the knuckle.
it's one of those things where when we put in all the information from the repair shop, whatever the first thing that gets put in is what gets put on there. And and I think Denise is probably right. If it was a knuckle or something on the car, there has to be an inspection done on it.
Okay.
Do you have a motion? The check register?
I'll make a motion to accept the check register.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more discussions or questions for Tim? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Now, finance.
Tony, do we have a way of tracking that, what was it? That money we got from the state for
ARFA?
for safety money, the public safety?
Just what I have in my spreadsheet in my office. I just have to go look at what I've been keeping track of what's been spent out of there on a spreadsheet.
Okay.
The only thing.
Included in here?
No, it's not. It's not a separate fund. No, it's not a separate fund. So it basically comes in on the revenue side as a.
Non-budgeted revenue.
Yeah, basically. So we'll have higher revenue, higher than normal revenue at the end of the year.
Well, it'd be nice to know how much we received and how much we have left at, when we spend some of it. Couldn't we put it into one of these instead of the,
It's no different than the ARPA fund. You won't.
Right.
The ARPA fund is the same way. Like, there's no way, like you're gonna see in the next 3 months that our water fund is over budget by about $70,000 or $80,000 because we're spending it out of ARPA funds. And I asked Lane, I said, is there any way that we can credit and debit our ARPA funds to make it for the council to understand that that's not what's happening. He says, no, that's end of the year. So I can show you on a spreadsheet, and if you want me to do that, I can bring that next council meeting and show you where we're at. But for the end, but just so you're aware, it's just gonna show you that we're way over budget. But we're not actually not, because at the end of the year, those funds, they'll debit the ARPA fund and move the stuff the way that it's supposed to be. Right.
Because there's a couple funds in here, like summer recreation, senior citizen funds, they've been zeros ever since Jesus wore short pants.
Yep.
I mean, it just.
Yep, and we can do a better job of, when I first took over, I removed a few of the things that we don't use on a regular basis, and we can definitely go through and continue to clean this up and remove a few things that we don't use.
I'd just like to see those funds tracked, or.
Yeah, yep, and it's just that's just the way the auditors want it done. So.
But isn't there a way that we
That's not the way I want it.
that we can at least know, so we're not trying to remember at the end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I can just include that spreadsheet as part of the financials, so you guys see where the money's coming from and where it's going.
Because it'd be nice to know that it's getting distributed between the different departments
Mhm.
equally and not all going to one department.
The only money that's been spent out of that is the money that was spent on the fire department turnout gear. So. And then the radar minus the grant that she got. So, yes. But yes, if that's what you'd like, I will just include that spreadsheet as part of the financials from here on out.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the financial?
I'll make a motion to the financial report.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any more questions for Tony? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Now number 3, classification and compensation setting.
All right, so David Drown finally got back with all the rest of the information. I just printed out this is a supplemental to go along with that for you guys. So this is basically came to fruition because of Eric's change with his Class C water license and utility supervisor position. So when they went through and redrafted the positions, Eric's position went from a 4 to a 5. So we looked at the positions and we looked at the salaries. And so basically what David Drown looked at was that in every time that we've looked at our positions, our salaries, we've just thrown a percentage increase at our numbers. We've just thrown a percentage increase at the numbers, and has really not done us any good. So one of the things that Mark suggested was, since over half of our staff is at the higher end of the pay scale, is that maybe to change what we're doing going forward is that maybe we lop that pay scale in half and now make step 5 step 1. So instead of trying to add money and just make this pay scale get higher and higher, now we start here and extend the pay scale. So now, it's really not harming us because it's not costing us a lot. Now it's just going to make, when we hire that position in the future, it's going to maybe cost a little more for a start, So what you see at the top is the orange is where the current salaries are. And then the bottom set is changing that. So the start is number 1, and then where those positions would go based on that, starting at step 5. And that would be with transitioning Eric from grade 4 to grade 5 at his new post, working in that $500 a month that you guys had requested as part of his compensation. And then this piece will show you what the actual cost estimate is for the remainder of the year. And so basically what happened was all of the positions, for the most part, were in the ballpark, except for obviously law enforcement was way low. So those positions were brought within market. And then actually the care center position and my position were knocked down because we were a little higher than market. So those positions actually went down in salary. And then everything else kind of went back. So as far as administration and maintenance, there's really no financial hit to make that work. As far as the PD budget goes, it's a little bit potentially a challenge. However, I did budget the PD at $25 an hour for the police department full-time officer, and we've only been paying $22.18 an hour. So there's a potential to recoup that. So I guess what I'm looking for from the council is if this looks good, if this is something that you want to push and put into place, then I would go back to David Drown to have final numbers for our next meeting to go through and adopt. And then my suggestion would be that the council would put the employees to the step on this approved program at their anniversary date.
That's the green one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this will take effect when?
This current year upon successful performance review on their anniversary date.
Okay.
Because David Drown's concern was, especially with the law enforcement salaries, that if we were to wait until January 1st again, we're 5% behind, and then another 5%, we're 10% behind again.
Okay.
So.
You want a motion tonight, or you want?
I just want direction from the council if this is good, if this is what we're looking for.
I think this is what we asked for.
I'd like to see something to show that, say, this is what it's costing us right now in the budget. And then once we put this into effect, what it's gonna cost next budget, and then possibly, I know it's hard to see out 2 years, to possibly see in the future more, what's that gonna affect on them two budgets?
It's impossible to tell until you figure out what you're gonna pay the people.
Yeah, ain't that your job?
That's your job.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as being able to project it, you gotta give us figures to work with.
Ultimately, it's your decision how much you want to compensate the employees.
True, but we can't just pull it up thin air. That's where your expertise comes from.
It's kind of hard to assume the cost of living 2 years out, isn't it?
Well, let's say 1 year, let's say next budget. Let's just stop there. Because right here, I don't know what it's gonna cost us on budget thing for the whole city.
It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 10. It depends on what the CPI is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that.
Well, what if you put them up there, 3, 5, and 10?
Oh, we can, but it is what it is. So.
I would like to see better numbers as far as for employee pay. But obviously, I'm not even considering budget, but there's a reason why I didn't stay here, and this is one of them. My number was well below this one yet. 16 years of experience, I couldn't get paid what I thought should be even mediocre. So there's a reason why people don't come here or stay here. And I would like good people to stay here and be compensated.
Well, and that's why I'm saying that this is my concern, especially with the law enforcement salary, is that.
That's just salary. I'm not even talking about health benefits. I'm not bringing that kind of money into it, but I'm just saying salary alone, let alone some type of benefits or that either.
The law enforcement side of this puts us back into at least talking to people again to get us candidates.
I looked a month ago and there were over 300 postings. That's not necessarily 300 openings. That could mean 500 openings. That could mean 900 openings. And we, of all of the postings for, and this is just part-time, this isn't full-time, we are like the 5th lowest posting.
I think I found like 2.
Yeah.
I looked through a lot, like, wow.
So like we're like
just on that. So.
We're like not even keeping our head above water.
Is this, Denise, is this for cities our size or just
Yes.
across the whole state?
Well,
Yeah,
there's even cities smaller than us that are paying their part-time officers like $10 to $12 more an hour than we're paying our full-time officers.
Okay.
So it's
Gaylord, Henderson, I'm trying to think of
Wells.
some other wells, small ones that I've seen, like, up there. For
I
a
mean,
small town, they're
Yeah.
throwing numbers out there.
like there's like no competition whatsoever.
This just basically shores us up so that if for God's sake, we have a departure of someplace, we have the ability to hire and keep our police department.
I think it's a good place to start, you have a starting point.
So. But I can definitely,
Do you need a motion to continue, or?
well, I think if you, yeah, I mean, if you want to make a motion to continue and put some final numbers together, and I guess maybe in my final report, I will just do what's budgeted for, what the remaining is going to be budgeted for, and then I can show you what the percentage increase are going to be looking for. But I do know for a fact that Eric especially is looking for some closure on his thing, so we need to make a final decision soon. I mean, that was back in January, and we told in March, so. But I think that, I mean, to me, the only real conversation is the numbers on the police department, because as far as like maintenance and administration, the months that Sarah Jo was gone, that easily makes up the difference in the money for the administration department. And as far as the maintenance department goes, that's split between water and maintenance. And so there's really no fun there. It's just basically finding money for that. The police. And I think that Denise is able to work around that and find the ability.
I'm like in the final stages of a PowerPoint, so if you would like that when I finish it, I'm happy to email it to you.
Oh, sure.
So, but.
Are performance reviews coming due for everyone soon? Or
Yeah,
or will they be later in the year?
It'll be later in the year. Mine's in September. Drew's, I believe, is in August. Joel's would not be in.
So yeah, so these numbers are as if everybody was
as of
June 1st. So I mean, it's probably a half of that. So, but yeah, I'll do a much, but if you're good with that, but I would really like a final decision if possible on the next meeting.
Did you want to put that in a motion,
I
or?
don't think of the wording, but I move to have Tony continue with the salary compensation study and to report back at the next meeting.
Okay, we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more questions for Tony? All in favor of the motion? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, down to new business. Removal of railroad tracks.
It's actually really old business, but it's kind of new business.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
So these are supposed to be removed of the spring following the last ones, but it didn't happen. But they are planning to do it now. They did just want an agreement in place. So long story short, the railroad will remove all of the tracks, the 3 tracks that are on Division Street, and then they will remove back to the same way they did here, but past where they did, and then they will replace the base layer, the road base layer, and then it'll be our responsibility to do the pavement part of it. So I talked to Eric, and we're getting bids to see if we can work that into this year's paving, but worst case scenario, that road would just sit with gravel on top of it one season, and then we pave it the next season. So they're just looking for an agreement to get the work done. So that's what this agreement is for.
Will we continue to maintain, or are they gonna continue to maintain it, because we can't?
No, so basically they're just abandoning for now the road part of the tracks.
Okay.
And then, so they'll be all gone, the steel will be gone, everything will be gone, and then it'll just be a road. And then they just reserve the right, if they ever want to put tracks there again, at their cost, they can put tracks back.
But we can mow it, cut the weeds down if there's something.
Well, not the railroad part, just the road part.
Yeah.
Yep, so.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve for them to go ahead with the railroad tracks.
I'll second
We have a motion and a second. Any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Um,
City dump cleanup.
So the lot on the corner on 7th Street, they took down a bunch of trees, some huge trees, and dumped them out at the dump. And unfortunately, we can't get them cleaned up. They've tried to burn them a few times, and they're just too big for our equipment. So we need some help. So Eric got a few bids. Luke Doverstein's $1,900. Blind and Flatness is $1,500. And Dallas Loken is $1,300 to $1,400. So I would make recommendation to the council that you authorize Dallas Loken to help us get that pushed up for $1,300 to $1,400. And then we are going to be adding signage to the dump that now states that anything larger than 3 feet in diameter is not going to be allowed to be dumped out there. It's going to have to be broken up or split before it goes out there.
What are they gonna do with the stuff? Remove it or burn it or bury it?
They'll push it off and then burn it. But yeah, it just needs to get pushed up to the top for now. So.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I move to have Dallas Loken take care of the issue at the city compost slush dump.
I'll second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Okay, number 3, replace water shutoffs.
Eric's requesting approval to replace 2 or 3 water shutoffs. We have all the parts to do. We just need the labor part done. Olson's to do that. Cost for each shutoff is $2,395 to dig down and replace those shutoffs. Just to put it into perspective for you, the guy that exercised all those shutoffs did that whole project for just a little around $4,000. So if we can keep doing that and not have to spend $4,000 to replace shutoffs, that would be amazing. So Eric said he can definitely get by with just 2. And I would say that with where we're at on the budget for the water, I would recommend only approving 2 at this time, just because of where we're at. We can wait till next year to do some more.
We can't replace them ourselves.
It needs a backhoe and to dig down, and it's just something that Olson's need to do. So I would recommend that the council authorizes 2 at the cost of $47.90.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion for $47.90 to replace 2 of them.
Okay. Second. Any more questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, miscellaneous. Anybody have anything? Does it go to the council? Okay, administrators report.
PSN is done, no longer with them anymore. Everything's been transferred over to our new system. For the most part, people are okay with I think for the most part, people understand what's going on. And I think that for the most part, people that are using the bank accounts to pay are okay with the $1 fee. The ones that aren't are bringing their checks up here. So it's working out okay. I did complete a grant to the state of Minnesota to cover our costs for the presidential primary election. So hopefully that should cover all of the costs to our election judges and for training and everything for that day.
What's the approximate cost?
Huh?
What's the approximate cost?
It was like $186 or something like that. But we have a few very dedicated people who do not put their time in and don't request fees. So thank you for those people who are here. So yes, but that state will pay us back for those. Heather and I have been working on finishing up the details for cleanup day this weekend. That should be ready to go. As part of our new processing, we had to go through a PCI compliance certification program, which was fun, but that's just making sure that you have all your T's crossed and I's dotted for payment processing so that you're not basically have to scan all of our networks to make sure that there's no vulnerabilities and all that kind of stuff, you know. I did notify both Waste Management and Thompson's that we were intending to move to a single hauler. Both of them were not at all bothered by that decision at all and are looking forward to the bidding process. Right now, I notified them that I would be sending out RFPs in August, but I did tell them that my hope was going to be sooner than that. But I did send out August RFP with a requirement to be backed by the council to the first meeting in November. And then we would award it in the second meeting in November. And my hope with that is that then we would have budget information for, yes, yep.
Did you include any other haulers?
Well, once the RFP is out, anybody would be able to bid on
Goes to
it.
where they
Yep.
see it.
Yep.
Tony, do you have any complaints or phone calls about, I don't like Thompson, I don't like Waste Management, I don't like.
If I've heard any calls, it's mostly been about Waste Management. I think it's just because they're bigger. They just,
Oh, they were here first. Too.
yeah, so. No, not really. I mean, I guess the only complaints we probably get, well, you probably haven't been around long enough to get the complaints, but a lot of times is they don't respond to me or they don't call me back, but that's because we handle everything here, so people need to call us about the problems they're having with Waste Management, and then we take care of it, so.
I just can't figure out why they drive by my house. No idea.
I participated in our public hearing of our wastewater treatment plant chloride variance permit. None of you were there. It was exciting.
I thought of it the next day.
Attended a Minnesota County City Management Association conference, a very good conference, very good speakers this year, some very good information I brought back. And then been working with David Drown on some classification compensation information. Tomorrow is our city administrator's birthday. And then Abby from the ambulance's birthday is on the 25th. Just another quick. Thank you. Just one other quick note. Our second meeting for this month will be on Tuesday because of Memorial Day. So.
How is the grant going for the siren to get that completed?
I am through page 26 of 93, I think. Oh, no, I'm not kidding. Huh? No, as part of that grant, I have to fill out a 93-page evaluation of the handicap accessibility of the city hall, along with photographs and pictures, and submit that to the USDA.
Think you'll have it done by summer end?
I hope so.
For a siren.
Yep.
And other stuff.
Well, and the turnout gear. It's about 60 or 70,000.
What do either of those two items have to do with handicap
Bureaucratic crap.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Other than that.
Yeah, so we had to put, there were a couple of things I had to put. We're an equal opportunity employer on all of our paperwork and our letterheads and that stuff, and then have to fill out this 93-page document that I just started a couple weeks ago. And then that's got to be on file, and there's got to be something on file about accessibility for non-English speaking and some policies and stuff. And so once that's all done, then you can apply for your money. So, yeah. Yep, he said we have 4 years. So I said, well, that's good because this is going to take me a little bit. So every time we have a little bit of extra time, I sit down and but it's like they want to know exactly how many parking spots you have, where they're at. They want to know how much room is between the curb and the parking spot how many bathrooms you have, where is the braille, where is the door handle, where is this, and it's all got to be photographed, and yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
4 years to finish it?
Yeah, you have up to 4 years to claim your funds. So, but you probably need the 4 years. So.
When did we start that?
I think we have till 2026 to get it, but my plan is to have it done soon. Yeah, because it'd be nice to deposit that money. So, but.
For a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Mayor and council comments. Anyone have anything they want to add? Or
George, did you say there were some ash trees that might be diseased?
Yeah.
You know where they are?
They're on Broadway here.
Matt checked into those and said that they weren't.
They weren't?
Mm-mm. Okay. Matt said there's only like 2 or 3 ash trees on Broadway, and the ones that he checked did not have any issues. Yeah, because I don't remember if I saw your Facebook comment or something, and I emailed. Did you say? I don't know. I emailed or I texted Eric right away, and then he went and talked to Matt. Yeah. So we did check on those, and they're good. Okay. Yeah. We did check into that though.
Okay, we have a motion to, yes,
Do you think I could speak about that railroad stuff?
for what?
I have a question about the railroad thing.
Sure.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
The
Stand up,
tracks, the tracks that they pulled out, you know where they are.
That big pile,
Yeah, and they put it inside the tracks that are still there.
that's going to cleanup day.
Really? They're
Yeah,
gonna go?
we're gonna get rid of it on cleanup day. Yeah,
That was my question, because
Yeah.
city won't take care of that, and I understand the liability.
Well,
But I'm
the-
going down.
the reason we didn't get rid of it is because technically those are privately owned tracks.
Right.
And so we didn't know, Eric didn't want to get in trouble for taking something that wasn't the city's to get rid of. But they've been sitting there long enough that I just told them during cleanup day, we're just gonna haul it to Pooley's and just get rid of it.
Good.
So, yep.
That was gonna be my
Yep.
suggestion.
Yeah, no, we're gonna take care of it during cleanup day.
Because I see somebody got rid of the weeds that were in the tracks, but they only went as far as where those.
Okay.
tracks are.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I already talked to Eric about it and they're gonna take care of it this weekend during cleanup day. So,
Do you know about removing those tracks in that area? Anything? That'd be nice, because I keep hitting them. Not the tracks.
Yeah.
The wood that comes.
Right.
out.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Hate to push it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can call again and see if that rails to trails thing is still making progress or not, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other business? We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:20.